Hey, it's Greg with the Gregory Group. Thanks for joining me again today. This time we're going to do part 2 of our buyer process series, and this time we're just going to talk about some of the details you might want to think about when you're considering offering on a house. When you're putting in an offer, there's a lot of different ways you can adjust the strength of an offer. The big one is, of course, the sales price. That's the biggest one, and it's the first thing anyone looks at, but it's really not the only thing out there. There's a lot of different ways to finesse the offer. For example, you could put in an offer, but you can also ask for the seller to pay some money back to you as closing costs. And what that will do is reduce the amount of cash that you have to bring to close, and it will make it a little easier for you. For contingency periods, sellers typically prefer them to be shorter, of course. So for your option period, if you want to make it stronger, instead of asking for a normal 7-day option period, you could do like a 6 or a 5-day option, and that always helps. Also, they like to have a shorter time period for you to get your credit approved for financing. So if you've already been pre-qualified, your lender is pretty confident in what they can do for you, then instead of asking for 3 weeks for a credit approval, you may be able to get away with 7 or 10 days. Something nice to offer is a leaseback. So if you're not in a big rush to get into the house once it closes, then what you can do is offer to maybe give 3 or 4 days or maybe a little bit more for the seller to stay in the house after the close. That way it gives them a little more time to pack up and move out of the house. When you can, try to consider the situation of the seller. How you offer can change based on what the seller really needs. Let's say it's an estate sale. In that case, lawyers are handling most of it, and the nicest letter you write isn't going to make any difference at all, because all they're going to care about is the final net price there. The same thing goes for a foreclosure deal. When you put something in on a HUD property, they don't even look at anything else. You just have to put that net number, and that's the only thing that matters to them. However, let's say the seller wants to move out quicker. They might appreciate a faster close. Or like we said before, if they want a little time afterwards, a leaseback can always look good to them too. Are you buying in a hot area? In this market, most likely you are, and you're going to want to make that offer as strong as possible. One of the big things people look at besides price is where the money's coming from. Do you have a cash offer, or are you putting down 20% or putting down 5%? The more cash you have behind the offer, the more confident a seller is that you'll be able to close on it. Also, it's going to minimize the effects of an appraisal in case an appraisal comes down lower than the market price. If you have more cash behind, a seller knows that you can make up that difference for them. So one common strategy we use in multiple offer situations is writing a personal letter to the sellers. In a multiple offer situation, you really want to separate yourself from other offers, and it's good to talk about, maybe why you like that particular house, or what it's going to do for you. For that same reason, we always personally reach out to listing agents too, to let them know about the offer, let them know how great it is, and that way we can make a personal connection with the other realtor too. That makes it a lot better than the 5 other offers that have just been emailed in and they've never even talked to the agent before. This is really just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to putting in an offer, and there's a lot of other stuff we can explore. If you have any other questions about what it takes to put in a strong offer that's going to get accepted in a market like this, of course, feel free to reach out and we'll answer any questions we can. Stay tuned for the next part. We'll talk soon.